So I know you all are very excited to get into advanced analytics, but I want to spend 5 minutes just to orient folks to some of the things Arnaud shared earlier in the webinar. He talked a lot about, Betterworks being a very, flexible and lightweight system that drives engagement within your organizations. And I want to just spend a few minutes to orient some of you folks how we help do that. So one of the ways that we do that is we can take your program and really, support it by bringing those different components that Arnaud talked about earlier. So for a lot of organizations, they're using our system for performance enablement. And so from a scheduled standpoint, they can push out these check-ins, and it's a framework that helps drive the right discussions between your organizations. Now, as employees and managers are having those discussions, as Arnaud mentioned, we start to pull in those other data elements from within the Betterworks platform. We can pull in your goals or objectives. We can pull in the feedback that you've received. All of the main components that you need to make these talent management decisions. So by knowing the impact folks are making, what they're working on, the outcomes they're driving towards, it's the perfect opportunity to really ask your managers and your teams, how is this person performing? What is their potential like? What's their risk of loss? We can connect to all of these different data elements and surface that up for you. The other point that drives that once a week engagement that Arnaud talked about was we can embed ourselves into the flow of work for you. So instead of having to be in the Betterworks platform itself, if you're using things like Teams, Slack, Gmail, we can actually embed ourselves. So a manager going in and responding to some emails, they can easily see how their team, their employees are tracking on their objectives. If they want to request or give feedback to them, these are all things that they can do from the comfort of their email inbox. And this meeting folks in the flow of work, as well as pulling all of those different elements together, really helps drive that once a week engagement that we're seeing across the Betterworks platform. And as Arnaud mentioned earlier, all of that is leading to this gold mine of data. And I'm really excited to share with you all our advanced analytics platform, because that gold mine of data partnered with Vizier's easy to use platform has really helped unearth all of this rich insights that you all have within your organizations. So here you're seeing the advanced analytics homepage. So whether you're an HR administrator or an HR leader, you're coming into the platform and you have this view that breaks down what's important for you. Arnaud mentioned earlier, we've worked with our customers and industry thought leaders, and we've identified certain areas that are top of mind for that. And so that's what you're going to see when you log into your home screen here. You can see the program adoption, employee performance, as well as how are we doing across DEIB and learning and development within your organization. Now, many of us, including myself, aren't data experts. And so we've designed these guidebooks so that when you drill into them, it does follow that Q&A approach. So here you can see a set of questions that are top of mind for you and your organization, answering things. So for example, we just rolled out a goal setting program. We want to understand, how are folks doing on their goals? Like, are there pockets of the organization that don't have goals? So I can actually come in, drill down into a pre-built dashboard where I can see across different departments where are those employees without goals. I can drill into this dashboard, and I have the ability to add additional layers to this to really slice and dice this data. So I'm looking at it from a department perspective. Maybe there's other avenues that I want to look at, like is there an age discrepancy when it comes to the goal setting? And I have the ability to, again, zero in on that data, slice it the way that I want to based on my organizational needs. And then if I need to drill down into certain things, like let's say, for example, I want to really focus on the IT organization, I can drill down into the IT organization, see, how does that break down across the business units that make up my IT department. And then if I want to focus on that data, I can come in and say, you know what, we're really focused on some of our the next generation that's coming into the workforce, I have the ability to then again apply these different views to really hone in and focus on the data to help me make these organizational decisions as how do we want to revamp this program? Maybe there's an area that we need to focus on. The data is helping me interpret that. And with this data, this is something that I might want to be able to come back into. And so with a simple click, I can capture that data. It's going to go to my capture section, which I'll show you in a little bit, so that I can refer back to it, see how things are progressing from that standpoint. But what's great about this, that data that Betterworks has been collecting, we're unearthing it here within the Advanced Analytics platform. So if I want to take a look again at this information, maybe I want to see how this is comparing to last quarter. And so with a few simple clicks, I can come in, I can take a look at how this is comparing to last period. And I can see that, compared to last period, there's actually a few more folks within the operations department and across the board that haven't been setting their goals. So this is a signal for me as a team that we might want to push out some additional training, maybe send out some communication to remind folks to go and get those goals in. But again, you're able to do these things very easily through the Advanced Analytics platform. But it's not just about how your program is doing. Going back to those guidebooks, we can start to tap into employee performance, DEIB data that we're pulling from your HRIS system into Betterworks. So I can come in here and I can take a look at my performance distribution. So again, taking a look at this, we see all of the different questions that we can answer within this. I can expand it out and see across those different dashboards that, again, we've built out of the box for your organization to really start to drill down into how things are trending. And so, for example, I might want to look at, how is performance ratings breaking down across different locations within my organization. Again, I can drill down into here. I can see the data. I can focus in on different things within here, and all of that we're able to do, within with just at your fingertips, touching into these different data elements. So from performance ratings to DEIB equity inclusion, I can start to look at things like, again, how are these different lenses correlating with all of those different elements that Betterworks is touching upon around goals, conversations, performance. So from a DEIB perspective, I might want to start to focus on, how is performance evolving across different groups? And again, we have different dashboards here that we've pre-built for you, but I want to zero in specifically on, let me get to it, how performance is evolving across my diversity groups. So here we might want to take a look at our different ethnic groups within our organization. Again, the power of our Advanced Analytics platform, we have these pre-built dashboards, but based on kind of how you want to interpret the data, you can come in and create different visualizations. So for me, I might like bar charts like you're seeing here. So I might want to see at a high level, how is that post-calibration rating looking like across my different ethnic groups. I can then compare that to what it looked like last year. And we can see that there's an increase within our Hispanic and Latino population, which is fantastic because we did put a concerted effort to make sure that that group really understood the value that they were bringing and how to drive higher outcomes there. But we're noticing that there are some other parts of the organization where it might be decreasing. That's the power of advanced analytics with the Betterworks data that we're starting to expose to you as an organization, that you're able to look and compare this data from different vantage points. Now, a lot of this data, again, is out of the box. You can access it because of the Zero platform that we're built upon. It makes a lot of things really simple and easy for your organization when it comes to sharing that information. So for example, being able to download this information to PDFs or PowerPoints, sharing that to other folks within my organization, even scheduling this data at a regular cadence so that it's accessible to you, you can all do that with a few simple clicks. And in many cases, instead of having to prepare those PowerPoint presentations, you can actually present the findings that you're seeing within the data directly from Betterworks and the Advanced Analytics platform. So if we want to review how performance management is happening from a DEIB lens, I can come in and actually start to take a look at that data and present it to my team and organization in real time here within the platform. But out of all of these, out of the box dashboards that we have, we also know that every organization is a little bit different. You want to make sure that you're looking at your data and answering the questions that's important to you. And so you can easily do that with the analyses portion of the Advanced Analytics platform. And so we can go in and actually create our own screens that you saw there before. So for example, one of the elements that we're pulling in from our HRIS is we've identified critical roles within the organization. And so I can actually come in here and create my own dashboards. There's a couple of pre-built dashboards that are already in here, but if I wanted to go in and add additional dashboards, I can do that by pulling in those captures that I was taking in earlier, or creating a brand new chart that really focuses in that I can then customize based on what I need. Again, we start to unlock all of these capabilities when it comes to getting insights into your data, creating your own custom data. You will be able to do that all here within the Advanced Analytics platform.